Hello and welcome to the semifinals of MGM5. Here we have Scapeshift, Tobias, and Four-Color Tom. And I'm Tino, and with me today...
I'm Christian, hi.
Hi! So, these decks are pretty different. We have a combo deck on one side. The Scapeshift deck combos up with Valakut and plenty of mountains to deal damage to the opponent. And on the other hand, we have a mid-range value creature-based deck in Four-Color Blood.
We see the opening hands here. 2 one-landers. Ooh, that's rough. I think there's 2 free mulligans there. There's no need to keep a one-lander when you can mulligan to 7 cards again.
I agree. And both these players definitely want at least 2 lands, and if you have Deathlight Shaman, you actually want to fetch land in hand.
So yeah, Tobias takes a mulligan in turn 2. So the way the Scapeshift deck works is basically it ramps up to 7 mana, play Scapeshift, and sacrifice all their lands, searching for a Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, and 6 mountains to trigger the Valakut 6 times and dealing 18 to your opponent.
Yeah, and a lot of times there's some counting going on whether there are still enough mountains in the deck, or if they are in play already, or in the graveyard.
Yeah, sometimes your opponent doesn't have 6 mountains left in his deck, so I would never concede with a Scapeshift on the stack. Just let your opponent search their life
for all the mountains. Exactly.
Yeah, sure. All right. 2 lands, top mana drain, Ugin, Scapeshift. Interesting. Seems nice to count mana drain into Ugin, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the card that makes it this hand playable is actually Into the North, which can search up a snow-covered island for the second blue. And of course, top is very valuable here.
On the other side, we have 2 lands, Acceleration, and Siege Reno. Yeah, also keep, I guess.
Yeah, it's a keep. I mean, Bitter Blossom is not the best card against like that wants to deal damage via combo, but if you can deploy it early, or if you decide to deploy it early, you might be fast enough.
Yeah, in addition, it deals damage to yourself, so you might think dealing damage to yourself isn't a problem against a combo deck, but especially against Scapeshift, you want to stay above your 18 if it's possible to take another turn, because if they can only deal 18 with 7 lands, they need to find an additional land to deal 21. So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
might need that extra turn to kill your opponent.
Yeah, but unfortunately, one could say, Tom draws a Thoughtseize here, so he will, if he decides to cast it, even lose more life. But I think this is worth it.
You take the risk there, yeah.
You take the risk. So let's see what Tom decides to do. Yeah, he will deploy the Deathlight Shaman first.
Always play your elves first. All right, fetching up for Tropical Island, I guess.
Yeah, and probably playing the Into the North as well.
Preparing your mana drain turn.
Exactly, and I mean, Tobias really plays a lot of these kind of land tutors or put lands into play spells, just because he wants to get to the 6 or 7 land in play as quickly as he can.
Yeah, get to your 7 lands as fast as possible to close the game out with Scapeshift.
Yeah, and this is also quite good here for Tom. He can already exile a sorcery from the graveyard or a land. I mean, he has now enough mana with the Deathlight Shaman and already some damage.
Well, if he plays the Thoughtseize and takes the Scapeshift, he can even exile it with a Deathlight Shaman. So he can't get it back with something like Eternal Witness. And Tobias has to kill Tom in a fair way, I guess. If this is the case.
Yeah, if you consider Ugin fair, that might be the case. I mean, his win conditions are then Titania, some creatures. I mean, he has Titania, Thragtusk, those are some
So
beatdown
he can't win
creatures.
the fairway.
He can, but I mean, Blood has its ways to handle Titanias and Thragtusk and such cards.
So he plays the Swordseize and takes mana drain. Interesting, yeah. What do you think?
Given that he has a Witness in hand, it's okay. The Scapeship is not that threatening yet. And Mana Drain is just taking the next turn. I think, yeah, Tobias doesn't have any black mana to transmute. And so he has another turn to deploy some threats, I guess. And then later on play Witness on Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I agree. Taking the mana drain there is the way to go. He's 4 lands away from scape shifting Tom out. So yeah, getting rough for the scape shift player here.
And I mean, Tobias doesn't have any land tutors or lands in hand, so he needs to find something in the top or top deck a land or a spell that gets him a land to even get there. Right now he's stuck on 3, so taking the only spell he could potentially cast is probably the right play.
So he's following up with the Stomping Ground and Noble High Rock probably. I would have played the Stomping Ground tapped and playing the High Rock with the Death Red Shaman just for saving 2 life. So my Siege Reno can push my life total back up to 20.
Training, yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, this one point of damage probably won't matter.
So
Yeah, I don't think so. And
nice feature here with seeing the cards in the Divining Top.
yeah, it was a spell snare, a forest, and a ballast. And he took the forest here and left the spell snare on top.
Seems like it. All right. Back to Tom. So he can play Witness and Swordseize again, but I think it's time to put some pressure on the board in form of Siege Rhino. And
Yeah, he still has a few turns until Scapeshift becomes threatening. And Siege Rhino is a good card, I heard.
it is.
Especially if you have Exalted. Oh yeah, I've totally forgot. The Death Shaman attack deals 2 damage, so...
Because
oh,
of
here...
Exalted. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
So here we have another top activation. It has the Ballast, a Spell Snare, and Stomping Ground. Yeah, interesting. Tobias has the option to cast the Ballast this turn. If he decides to draw a card with top.
It won't be big enough for blocking Siege Rhino though. But it should give him a little bit more time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he does here. So we know that there's a top and a spell snare on top of his library.
So this is the turn where you probably want to Eternal Witness back your Swordseize, take away the Scape Shift, and exile it immediately with the Death Red Shaman.
Yeah, this is a
Taking
pretty
first,
play.
sure.
Yeah.
Taking 5 because of the Exalted.
Actually, Tobias has a wasteland in play. Do you think he had a gap where he could actually use his wasteland?
I don't think so. I mean, you still have the Scape Shift in hand, so you don't want to sack a land on your own side to kill a land from your opponent, especially if he has 2 mana elves in play. So you need your 7 mana. This will give Tom an extra turn if he sacks the wasteland. So his plan is probably to to sack the Wasteland to Scapeshift. And yeah, he takes back the Sword Seas, but he casts the Witness with his black mana, so he can't exile the Scapeshift immediately.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, you need black mana to activate Deathlight Shaman's ability to
Exactly.
exile a sorcery. Okay, I see now. He exiles the land instead and plays the
So
Thoughtseize.
probably not a huge deal, but I mean, he could draw like, if he draws top, activating top, finding a Witness, witnessing back Scapeshift. It's
Yeah,
a
and I mean,
possibility.
I don't think Tobias will attack here, so like jumping with with the Noble Hierarch is not a valuable play anyway. So he
Right.
could have tapped it. Yeah, but I mean, I think taking the scape shift here, knowing that the cards in hand of his opponent, I think Tom is still in very good shape here.
He is, obviously.
And again, Siege Rhino is the game winner here, because the Ballast cannot just cannot get rid of it, and somehow Tobias needs to handle this creature.
Yeah, he provides a 2-turn clock. So what's Tobias' plan here? Finding probably more lands to cast his Ugin?
So here
Or ramp spells?
we have a Spell Snare, a Tiger, and Merchant Scroll, right? That searches up in blue instant, I think.
Oh, interesting. What are the possible blue instants he could get there to survive a few more turns?
Yeah, well, he has Mystical Tutor. You could play Mystical Tutor and tutor up any other instant or sorcery, but I mean, it takes a turn
Ah,
eventually.
Mystical Tutor. Searching for a miracle or something. Nice.
Forever. Yeah, interesting. Actually, Tobias, I'm looking at his deck list right now. He plays a miracle in form and shape of Bonfire of the Damned. So I don't know if that certainly gets rid of a few creatures. But unless he somehow can draw it at instant speed in his opponent's turn, I
He
think you
could
can
with a
cast it,
top.
right? I think you can cast it in your opponent's turn, even though it's a sorcery, right?
Yeah, you can. With this Divining Top, you can cast miracles in your opponent's turn. But unfortunately, he has to tap his top in his main phase to get to the Merchant Scroll. So
Oh, and
he will
even
shuffle his
shuffle.
top away.
Yeah,
Yep.
even that. Shuffling the top away. Yeah, it's a difficult spot for Tobias. I really don't know what he should get here.
Probably the Mystical Tutor.
I mean, he plays Mystic Confluence, which is a blue instant from the new commander set. It's a great card.
Card. Yeah. Absolutely broken. Bouncing 2 things, countering your spell.
Yeah, this card is really versatile. But will it be enough? I mean, you could bounce the Siege Rhino.
He's searching for Mystical. Okay. We will probably see a Mystical end of turn.
So targets for Mystical are relevant targets, I think, are Toxic Deluge.
Toxic Deluge. All right.
Yeah.
He needs to
And
pay 5 life though.
yeah,
Clean the board up.
I mean, he could jump with the Bailiff, so you would have to pay 2 to get rid of the Deathlight Shaman, the Noble Hierarch, and the Witness.
All right. Smash for 5. He's thinking about blocking.
I don't think you. Well, do you think you have to block here already? I think you have to. You can still wait one more turn.
I mean, it depends what he's searching for with his Mystical Tutor. There's nothing wrong there in jump blocking for 4 life. If his plan is to sweep the board next turn, he should jump block in this situation.
Does he have? Oh, he doesn't even have the swamp in play, so Toxic is not an option here, right?
At 4 life, especially, it's hard to
Well,
deluge.
well, he would be at 8, right?
Uh,
Or does the
no, he
Balos?
goes down to, so he, if he blocked, right. If he blocked, he would be at 8. He could have deluged.
Oh, he would be
It's a
at
possibility. Yeah, sure.
he would be at 10, 9, right? Am I wrong with the exalted trigger?
Ah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the mystical here. He didn't block, so maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a swamp in play. I think he has a forest, stomping ground, island, wasteland, and tropical island. So you cannot even cast toxic. So, but what is his plan here?
He pulled the bonfire to the top. Mm,
Yeah, interesting. I mean, he is. I think he's dead, given that Scape Shift is not in his deck anymore or in his graveyard anymore, and the fact that I don't think he can, even if he tutors for the creatures and puts them in play directly, that he has it in his deck.
showing
Win
the
at this
fire here.
point
All right.
state.
I mean, it lets him survive another turn, but he's probably drawing dead. Miracle for 4. Jump blocking the Rhino. Yep. All right. Siege Rhino is so huge. 5 towers.
Yeah. Yeah. What are the outs here for Tobias? I
There are
don't.
no outs. I think he's drawing dead at this point. So if Tom finds a removal spell, and he does, so the game is locked. All right, GG.
Yeah. This game goes to Tom, and after Tobias realizes that he lost this game due to damage and the removal spell.
But I have high hopes for Escape Shift when it gets to be on the play.
Yeah, we'll see if it's on a play. Maybe it can have more explosive start and beat the 4-color blood deck. So
Sure,
see you in
we'll
the
see.
next game.